Hey
What's
Mike,
up, man?
how's it going?
Good. How about yourself?
Perfect. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. All right.
All right.
So,
So I'm nosy. I got a couple questions before we get fully started.
yeah, sure.
So the competition that you do, how close is that to like CrossFit? Because I saw some of your posts. I'm like, that looks similar.
Yeah, it's pretty similar. So with what I'm doing is called High Rocks. It's very similar to CrossFit, except it's more running. So it's more running based. The format of the race is basically so you do a 1 kilometer run, and then right after that you'll do some sort of functional workout. So basically 8 workouts and 8 runs in between.
And you really couldn't run a mile last year without stopping. I find that hard to believe. You look like you're in pretty damn good shape.
Yeah, no, I lift. I did a lot of bodybuilding lifting, but not any cardio. So I'd be good. Like I look like I'm in shape, but my cardio wasn't there. I'd be able to run more than a mile, and not at speed at least. I could run, but then I'd like give up like halfway through when running a mile. But yeah, I got into running a lot last year. So last year I did my first 10K race, my first 5K race, my first half marathon, and then I did like a Spartan run, and then from there I just was on a roll. And I started doing high rocks after that as well.
You said when I talked to you on the phone, you're a little bit competitive. So clearly you're a little hyper focused on shit when you get started on it too, it sounds like.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. When I find something I really like, I just hyper focus on it. Like right now, it's really these high rocks races. Trading, of course, it's competitive too. That's why if you're on the live session today, I was kind of bummed out that the trade didn't play through. Usually, I don't really lose very many trades. So when I do lose a trade, it's like, man, I try to analyze and understand what I did wrong. But for the most part, I think the market it just wasn't moving that well. Did you trade today?
I haven't traded anything. Here's where I am. I'm going to give you kind of a quick rundown if you want it. So I've tried a couple of different things. Like I said, I tried another one was called a guy named Todd Rampy, where he had these indicators, didn't fucking work. I couldn't make it work to save my ass. And I lost my ass. I'm not didn't lose my ass. I lost a couple of grand. It was options.
Okay.
And then tried another one, still wasn't really, and it was basically support and resistance. They called it supply and demand. I think I told you about that.
Mhm.
Again, wasn't really getting any success with it. And then I wanted to go onto the funded side of things. And so I got the good old fashioned analysis paralysis where I'd, sign up at the 80 or 90% off, get the five little accounts, whatever. But I wasn't really trading them. And then had another guy that gave me a class or two. And I was like, I mean, and I told you a little bit about this, where he's, order blocks and from what you said, order blocks are fairly subjective, but he basically works off of action and order blocks. Um, and then another buddy of mine that I've been trading with back and forth for years was doing that kind of, he was trading gold, following it off of the 9 EMA and, just trading off the 5 minute chart. And he was pretty much killing it. He was doing $400 or $500 a day per five accounts, at least. I mean, I didn't see his accounts, but that's what he told me. He had no reason to lie to me. And then I get things finally, and I'm technologically struggling because I've got a MacBook Pro, which I told you, and I'm the one guy I know that trades. He does all of his executions and everything through TradingView, so that's what I was trying to do because I travel for work when I'm not working from my home office. I travel, so I need to make it mobile,
Mhm.
and so I was struggling to get it done. I finally got it set up where I could see all five accounts in TradingView, but I couldn't trade copy them, and I had trying to use parallels to work in Tradeovate, and I'm 53 years old, and I mean computers are a tool. I want them to work the right way, and when they don't, they frustrate me. And so you watch 15 different YouTube videos, and none of them seem to give me the answer I'm looking for. And then somehow I stumbled across you, and 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 as I kind of told you, something just resonated in the fact that you're pretty open about who the hell you are. Most people, A, they don't give their names out. B, you can't see that they're a legitimate lawyer. And C, you're actually in California, which it, for me being on the West Coast, that makes a difference. So just because you operate on the same hours. And then obviously we had that conversation. So here I am. And then I started watching all of your videos. I haven't watched all of them, but I'm like, okay, I'm watching this, but then I'm looking at what he's doing on the live trading and I'm not seeing which ones he's using. So I'm like, screw it. ask for a call like I did because you said you'll do some mentoring to get people up and going. And so look, I'm all about working smarter, not harder. So I figured, you know what, I'm just going to ask for a call. You said we could do it as needed. So, and I'm getting ready to leave tomorrow morning. I fly to Georgia and then I'm going to be traveling for probably 10 days, but I'm still going to be on my computer. So I'm just, I guess I'm probably starting off with a little bit maybe smaller goals. You said the average people are doing is like $400 a day, um, pretty consistently without over trading.
Mhm.
And so my goal is like $300 a day on 5 accounts and then scale that up because I don't know for a fact, but if I had to guess, you're doing way more than $400 in an account on your stuff that you're doing on a daily basis, especially building your hedge fund and what have you. And so, and I've been on the live since the day I signed up, listening and watching. And again, I don't know, there was something, like I said, you were just pretty straightforward. You're like, shit, sometimes I don't even take trades on the lives because I've got so many people watching me. Other trades that I may take, but you've got that optic, right? For the people that are watching and paying and what have you, and you might be able to scalp something a little bit differently. So yes, I was on there today. Long answer to that question. Yes, I was on there today, and you were pretty upfront about it right in the very beginning. Shit, by 6:40, you were like, "Man, this market, um, I can't think of the word right now, but this market's just not moving. It's just not really going anywhere." And then I heard you say, "Yep, I'm about to take this trade," and then, but you had a pretty tight stop loss on it. I think it dropped 30 points, and you were like, "I'm done."
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I try to keep it as tight as possible because I think what happens with a lot of traders is they don't have that ability to like pull out of the position. What happens is they just keep moving their stop loss lower and lower, and then they end up losing more than they should. And in a market like this, the volatility just wasn't there. The market wasn't moving efficiently. It was just going back and forth, and there just wasn't much direction. So, and then this is typical for a week like this. I'm not sure if you understand how like the markets move on a monthly basis. The first week of each month is NFP week, which is non-farm payroll. It's when the jobs data comes out. So this week is either a good week, it's going to be very directional, it's either going to be very choppy, or it's just going to be a bad week altogether. Right now, it's been pretty choppy. So what typically happens is it's going to be choppy usually Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, like the other half of the week usually starts to move directional. So it's just like from experience of trading this specific week every single month for years now, that I'm kind of able to identify and predict that that's like what's going to happen. But yeah, like you said, that specific strategy that I applied today, it's a small variation to one that we already have and we've been applying. It's going to be this one over here in module 5.1, momentum pullback scout. There's a couple different variations to this specific strategy. Module 5.0 market flow V2 and 5.1 momentum pullback scout. They're very similar. It's just a different entry point. But the analysis and the way that you identify things will pretty much line up exactly the same for both strategies. So I think we could start off with like the momentum pullback scout. That'll probably be your main focus because that's what we're doing on the live sessions. And the confluences that I'm looking for, and we'll go over that shortly when I go over these examples. You'll see that we look for specific, well, I look for specific patterns. They're not necessary, but for me, like we talked about, I look for the trades that I think are going to absolutely hit, like the ones that I know are going to hit and are highly likely to hit versus ones that'll they'll come up a lot of times, but they're not all going to hit. So that's why it looks a little different from like following the specific strategies. But I'll also give you the criteria for the one that we're doing on the live session. Well, we'll probably go over these two right here, module 5.0 and 5.1, and then I'll go over the variation that I applied during the live session today. They're
Now,
very simple.
just out of curiosity, that's probably the fastest way I'm guessing to get up and ramped up where you're having some consistency, some wins consistently is using that strategy, I'm guessing.
Yeah, exactly. I would just focus on like one or two strategies. You'll see once we explain them, they're going to be very, very similar. There's only one difference. Like for the moment, market flow V2, it'll kind of show you a little pattern here.
That was my other question. I was setting up some of the indicators that I have. Now, I need to probably upgrade my trading view so I can have more than like 5 on there, right?
Oh yeah, you could do that, or you can just have what's like necessary. You don't really need all of them, but yeah, if you'd like to have, all of the indicators up at once, I could probably
I,
point out ones that are like necessary. You need the momentum signal. That would be one.
momentum signal. Hold on, I'm going to do this while I'm talking to you.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, so here
So momentum version 2.
so the strategy that you'll probably be focused on would be it's called the momentum pullback scout. I
No,
think
I was talking the indicator. That's not the
Oh,
indicator I
indicator,
want.
yeah. So the indicator, if you go down the list, it's gonna be called K2 Trade's proprietary trading system. That's like the very first indicator that we put together. It's the momentum indicator. So if you click on that, when it gets added to your chart, it'll say Kodi Kai momentum. So on the list, it says K2 Trade's proprietary trading system. When you actually click on it on your chart over here, it'll show Kodi Kai momentum V2.
So I'm going to add that. All right, I got to take one off. So hold on.
Yeah, I think if you're on the free plan, you can probably only have about, I think, three, right? I'm
No,
assuming.
I'm on the paid one, but I'm on not the high enough paid one right now.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're probably on the Pro or the Pro Plus. Pro Plus, I think you could have about five.
All right, so proprietary. That's 5 applied to my chart, jackass.
Yeah,
Okay,
so that'll
mine's
be.
that looks different than yours. Yeah, that's what I was thinking because yours on the right hand side, you've got the red, blue, green numbers and stuff, and mine's not showing up that way.
Oh, right here on the right side.
Yeah,
So to turn that on, you might have to go over to your settings. So if you right click on your chart, go down to settings right here, and let's see. If you go to status line, you might want to have these right here that are on. So if you don't have that on, it'll probably.
I have all 4 of those on. The only thing I don't have on is volume and last day change values.
Let's see. Try to figure out. I know it's one of these settings here. So you don't have any of these numbers right here on the. Oh, okay. So if you're talking about these right here, this is another indicator. So for this one right here, this is going to be the K2 pivots. That's where these numbers are coming from.
I've got K2 pivots up there, and it's.
Oh,
You want me
there's
to
still
share my
not.
screen?
Yeah, you can share your screen. And I can take a look. It's probably easier to troubleshoot that way. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, that is weird.
So I've got K2 pivots, and then this one is up here twice. I don't really know why.
Oh, you can close one of them out. Yeah, there we go. So let's see. Okay, let's go to your settings for the K2 pivots. It's gonna be so click on the screw. It's next to the trash can symbol. It has like a little screw next to it. Right next to the eye.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, that one right there. That's weird. Yeah, so it says labels on price scale, which should be there. For some reason, your screen doesn't show it. Let's right click on your chart, go to settings. That's weird. Okay, let's try something else. Let's go to you could close out of that. Go to the go to the settings button. It's on the bottom right. So where it says B hyphen ADJ on the bottom right of your screen, there should be a settings button right above it. Yeah, right above it. There we go. Let's click on that. Let's go to. See if go to labels. Scroll over there a little bit. Oh, okay, so go to indicators and financial name label, or yeah, see right there, it says indicators and financial name labels. You probably want to check on both of those. Let's check both of those on. There we go. And then go to the one below that one and turn that one on. Right at labels. There we go. And then right below it. There we go. So you got the numbers there now.
Okay.
So that fixed it. Yeah, other than that, let's see what other indicators you might need. So another indicator that I would say is necessary is the sessions high-low. So if you go to your invite-only scripts,
So I'm gonna close, so I need this one in the K2 pivots,
yes.
and then I can close this one out.
Yeah, you probably don't need that one. Over to your indicators, and then we'll add the sessions high-low. This is going to indicate where the previous session high-lows are. Yeah, you click down on that. Probably close one of them. I think you clicked on it twice.
Of course I did.
It's easy to do. Yeah, so you close one of those. You can kind of see on your chart, like this is the reason why I created this indicator specifically. See that red line right there that's dotted? See how price kind of comes around and that green candle right there touched it and bounced off? The whole reason I created this specific indicator is to identify areas where manipulation happens. Basically, it's the previous session high-low prices. That red line is going to be the London high. So if you see another red line, it's going to be the London low. That's basically the high price point from the London session that was prior to New York Open. So you can see how
This
that
one and this one.
it should be somewhere below it. If you zoom out a little bit, it's probably gonna be pretty far down below. Yeah, you probably have to zoom it out a little. There you go. So you see on the bottom right there. So those two red lines, the upper one is where the London high was, and the one below it is a London low. So basically, I created this tool here to avoid price manipulation. So if you go down, let's just reset your chart real quick. Yeah, reset chart view, and then you can kind of see like how, or try to zoom in a little more, and then reset it. Well, you can kind of see like that. Okay, so like zoomed out like that. If you want to turn off the momentum indicator to like just see those lines that go from left to right, you can just hide it. And see how like price gets to those areas and it gets manipulated. So like price will come down and touch it and it'll bounce off it. I use that specific tool just to not trade around those areas. Some people use it to trade bounces off those areas, but for the most part, I use it in a sense where whenever price is near it, I just don't take trades around those specific places. So on the live session, sometimes you'll hear me say things like, oh, this is a red flag. I'm not going to take trades around those areas. And it's specifically those areas there. Basically, any horizontal lines with any dotted horizontal line. So the green ones are going to be the New York session high lows. The purple ones are going to be the Asia session high lows, and the red ones are going to be the London session high lows. You can still trade around those areas, but for me personally, I try to avoid them, just to avoid getting caught in price manipulation.
Now, what's that blue one? Because if I'm looking like where you traded today, so between 6:30 and 8 o'clock, it really wasn't near any of them other than the blue one.
Yeah, so the blue one, trying to see what that blue line is because it's not on my screen. It's try to scroll in a little bit. Let's see, let's go to yes, try to scroll in a little closer. I'm trying to see what is that line for. It might be the New York low. Because I might be overlapping with something else.
Am I going the wrong way?
Go scroll to like the middle bottom of your chart, and there's gonna be a so go down a little lower to the very bottom of it. Oh, so see that return button? It's right next to the that right one. Click on that. Well, for some reason your chart gets like spread out for some reason. When I click that, it like puts everything back in order. Here, let me see if I can figure out. Okay, let's go to where the numbers are, the price numbers on your side, on the price scale, and right click on that. Just right click on any number on the go a little farther to the right where the actual scale is. And then click scale price chart only. There we go. It's kind of makes it a little closer. So I'm trying to figure out what that blue line is on your chart because I don't see it on mine. And there's no label next to it. Did you draw that one yourself? It might be something. Oh, it's weird. Huh.
Normally, when you right click on something like that, it'll let me do something, but
Yeah, it doesn't even have a label or you can't edit it or anything. It's weird. Yeah, I'm not sure what that blue line is. It doesn't show up on my screen. So maybe you need to refresh your chart. So go over there. Just click or you're on a Mac, right?
I am on a MacBook.
Yeah, hit Command R and it'll refresh your chart. Oh, yeah, so that line is still there. Not sure what it is. Did you have a
Because I can't do anything to it either.
Yeah, that's weird because it shows that you have a red line up top too, which is I don't have it on mine, and there's no label on it.
I don't know.
I don't know. I guess we could just leave it alone. Or you know what it might be? So looking at your there's you have that highlighted on the left side, which is your new drawing that are synced. So you might have it on a different chart, but it's synced onto this chart. So you see that blue highlight that you have on the bottom left.
That one?
Yes. So when you click on that, it has your drawings that are synced on different charts. So you might have it synced on a different chart. That's
I don't have any other charts.
oh, that's weird. Yeah, I would just I would unlink that on the bottom
You know what it
left.
looks like? Never mind.
No. Yeah,
So how do I unlink? Just click that?
yeah, click that and then click on the trash button below. Just want to see. Oh yeah, you don't have any drawings on your chart, so that's trying to understand like what that line is, but I don't see it on mine. I guess we could just leave it as is. But the ones that are important are going to have a label on them. So that purple line up there says Asia High, and then
You know what? I wonder if it's this. Hold on. That's
yeah,
what it is.
unless you have a pending order there, but it would still let you right click on it, which is kind of weird.
But see, I mean, you can see that's what it is.
Oh, that is what it is. Okay. Oh, I see. It does have a.
That's
So you might have put a pending order there at some point. There we go. Well, you canceled it.
still didn't make it go away.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've never really ran into that issue before where the lines kind of show up on your chart. Typically, they just get
Okay,
removed.
I don't need to waste your time with that. We'll have more conversation. I will worry about that later. I mean, I can do a new chart though too, couldn't I?
Yeah, if you want to open a brand new chart, you can do that as well. So if you go over
What's the easiest-
to NQ key on your top there you go. You can click that drop down and then you can do create new layout. And let's give you a fresh new chart. You can just name it whatever you like.
What do you call this? Scalp?
I put main for mine because that's where I do all my analysis. And for some
That
reason
stupid line's still there.
it still shows up. I don't know what that is. Unless that's the high and the low. That seems like it might be the high and the low. I just don't have that setting enabled on mine, so it doesn't it doesn't look like the high or the low though. Because it's yeah, for some reason it's still there.
It says there's an indicator on there and I don't know what it is.
It's a volume, so that that histogram on the bottom, that's the volume indicator. You can remove that, you don't need it. So see it comes off on the bottom. But I just don't know what those lines are on your chart.
There's three of them. That's friggin' weird.
Yeah, the red line is going to be where price is currently sitting right now. I believe the market's closed, so
Yeah.
there's going to be it's not going to be moving. But yeah, that blue and that red line, I don't know what that is. Wish I could help you with that.
It's neither here nor there. I mean, it's not a, I mean, so I need to go here and add the indicators back in.
Yeah, let's add those back in. So go over your invite only. Down to the proprietary trading system, there's the momentum indicator. Then you'll add the pivots on there. And the session's high-low. You can have the trailing stop, but it's not necessary. So I wouldn't say to put it on there, at least not now.
That's fine. Like I said, I can follow instructions well. You tell me what to
Yeah.
do so I know what I'm doing and I'm good.
Yeah, so let's go back to the indicators. Let's add the trend meter on there. I'm just gonna try to add on as many as you can. so that you can kind of get the full scheme of things. Trend meter right there. Yeah, click on that.
See,
And
my trend meter looked different than yours did too. That
oh
was
yeah. Yeah, so I'll give you the settings for that too. So if you're scalping on the trend meter is set to intraday settings. So let's close your indicator list real quick. And then let's go down to, you can drag that down so it just shows up all the way, like it just shows at the bottom of it. You just drag it all the way down because you just want to see the color of it. And then go over to the settings for that indicator. Down at the bottom. Should be right down bottom left, K2 trend meter. There we go. Go over to the settings. Go over to inputs and just change all those to chart. So it'll show you what the trend is on that specific time frame. Will be the first option. There you go. So now you can see on the bottom, it changes from green, blue, and red. So when it's green, it means the trend is bullish. When it's blue, it means it's neutral. And when it's red, it means it's bearish. So it just gives you a quick snapshot of like what's going on overall. I use that in conjunction with the pivots. So if you look at where price is, and you can kind of line it up with the trend meter below, see like when price is above the pivots and the pivots are kind of spread out, you can see that the trend there is bullish. So it just kind of gives you a shortcut if you're trying to see what the trend is at the time.
Here, I'm gonna stop sharing mine and you can show me where you are on yours so I can follow what you're showing me as far as where I'm seeing it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Okay. So, all right. So what I was saying right now is basically, so the pivots and the trend meter are kind of used for like very similar things. Basically, whenever price is above the pivots, like it is right here, and this is just a quick way to look at price to identify where the trend is without having to actually draw, trend lines. Because typically, if you don't have these tools here, you're gonna have to draw your own trend lines and identify where the trend's at. So to take a little shortcut, you can see here whenever price is above the pivots and whenever the trend meter is green, this indicates that price is bullish. And then vice versa, whenever price is below the pivots and the trend meter is red, this will typically indicate that the price is bearish. That's just basic stuff to identify and have some sort of bias with regards to the direction of your trades. You don't have to use that, but typically you want to trade in the direction of the trend. So with that said, those are basically how those tools are used. For the momentum signals, momentum indicator, basically whenever you have a green buy signal, this will indicate that momentum is pushing to the upside. When you have a red sell signal, this will indicate that momentum is pushing to the downside. This doesn't necessarily mean that price is going to push down. This can just be a small retracement. So like, for example, today's live session, we were looking for price to push up, push down, and then push up further. So bullish momentum, price pushes up, bearish momentum, price retraces, bullish momentum, and your entry would happen somewhere around this area here. The strategy that we're using, and we'll go over the different types of entries, and I'll try to find an example here. I think there was a good example that happened right here as soon as we got off the
Did you take another trade that won today?
No, so I just took one trade. Typically, the way that I trade is if I lose one trade, I'm usually done for the day. That's just to reduce my risk. The reason why I wasn't really looking to take anything else also is because the market was kind of just ranging. So you can see over here, this is kind of where the price was today. It was a consolidation right here. And this trade over here is the one that I lost. The thing that happened also that I noticed, as soon as we got off the live session, that trade that we lost, it actually pushed back up and it would have won. It's just, we got caught in the chop because price was going back and forth. So stop loss was like right there. Came down, stopped it out, and then it ended up pushing right back up to where it was supposed to go. So unfortunately, we just got caught in this chop here where price kind of faked out above, pulled below this area as well, stopped us out, and then shot all the way up to where we were anticipating. But I'll show you an example of like the same entry that we took, but after. You can see my entry happen right here. This is where my buy happened. Price went sideways for a good 15-20 minutes and then stopped us out right here.
And what was your you were in a green side air green, whatever you call the green?
Yes, so we were looking for buys here. So for example, this is kind of where I was looking at. I had a green bar right here. This stuff isn't really necessary, but it just kind of helps with people understanding what my bias is. So like, for example, I was looking for a buy here specifically because price was pushing up here, but the patterns that I was looking for were these reversals here. So obviously price was going down from here during the live session. And I was like, okay, the sellers are in control here, but the entry never came. And then right here, I was like, okay, the buyer's in control here because price started pushing up. I already identified the buyers in control before it even pushed up because this pattern right here, there's two main patterns that I look for when I'm looking for a confirmation of direction. So like initially, when I see stuff like this, where it's a double body rejection, and you can take notes on this later. Also have this recorded, so if you want to rewatch this at some point in the future, you just
That
review.
I was wondering if you did, because I was hoping you could send it to me once it's done so I can rewatch it for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. So like these are one of the patterns that I look for. This is actually two patterns in one. Basically, this is going to be another strategy. Later on, you can take a look at it if you want. It's going to be module 5.3 V1 variation. This is a reversal pattern. So this is a strategy, but it's also used as a pattern just to identify reversals. So right here, identify prices coming down. And then I saw price swinging back up right here because we had this double body rejection. This is just a basic price action pattern. I try to keep it as simple as possible. I'm looking for something like this, either a double body where the price is on the same exact level, or I'm looking for where it's on the same level wick. So if I see an example where it's on the same level wick, I'll show you. But for the most part, you're going to see these more often than the other. A double body rejection is going to indicate a reversal. So price came down. The reason why I was okay with taking buys here is because price was also bullish. So there's a couple different confluences that I was using here, like a couple confluences that you can look at to identify a bias would be identify trend using pivots, identify trend using trend meter, identify direction using momentum. There's like a lot of different things you can use here. You could kind of just pick and choose. Obviously, the more confluences you have, the better. Identify direction using reversal patterns, V1 variations, or engulfing. And this is stuff that you'll pick up along the way. It's like, it could be as complicated as you want, or it could be as simple as you want. For me personally, I try to look for the best possible entries. So I use a lot of confluences, but realistically, I mean, you can just follow the trend. That's probably gonna be your best option. Follow the trend and then take trades in that direction. So that's why, like, when you watch me on the live session, it might not make sense initially because I'm looking at so many things at once. But the main thing that you want to focus on is just the strategy. So specific entry. So if you don't care to like follow a lot of this stuff here, because I know this stuff might confuse you, and you want to just focus on just the strategy aspect of it, I would recommend just using the trend to confirm confluence. So when price is trending up like this, like I wouldn't even mark up what I did here, right? I mark up that the sellers were in control. This stuff is gonna go over your head because it's just a lot of information to jumble up in one basically in one sitting. This stuff will come more
Well,
naturally.
and believe it or not, I am fairly well versed on it. I mean, I know what you're talking about when sellers and buyers are in control. I can see you were looking at it because you pull up the other chart that you have with the green and the reds. And so I mean, I am fairly well versed, but I agree. Let's keep it simple, stupid, and then make it more complicated as we get going.
Exactly. Yeah. So I want to show you how to like actually look for entries. So I want to show you how to look for entries and then, later on, then add those confluences. So like in the future, like, okay, this is what I'm going to look for to make it an even better entry versus because from my statistics, these strategies already have like a pretty decent win rate, like about a 70 to 80% win rate, just the strategy alone. Once you start to adding these confluences, you're going to have a higher win rate. Like last week, we had, I think, 6 wins and 1 loss. And there was more entries that came up, but I only took a select few because they kind of aligned with my direction of price.
You
So,
realize you jack up all stereotypes for a friggin' lawyer.
right?
I was in the mortgage industry for a very long time, and I mean, I dealt with lawyers and math and statistics were not friends.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I was not good at math, but I like to make money. So, put two and two together. So if I want to make more money and take less losses, I got to understand math a little bit here with regard to probabilities, of course. So And it just comes from all the data. You know, I have so much data and I've applied these strategies for years. So like every time I pull data every year from my trades, it just improves and improves and improves. And then I add other confluences to make things even better. So yeah, definitely. So the strategy I was going to show you was the momentum pullback scout. Or do you want to learn the actual strategy that we're applying during the live session? I guess we'll do that. Which one would you
You
rather?
tell me what's going to be the best one for me to be able to visualize, in your opinion, and start to get some wins and get my damn accounts funded and moving forward.
Okay, let's do this strategy. It's not going to be in the module, so I'll give you the requirements here. This is just a variation to the original strategy. One of the guys in the group, he actually came up with this. He brought it to me like 2 weeks ago, and he was like, "Hey, I think I found something." And I was like, "Okay, let's test it." So we tested it. I made some changes to it, and you know, lo and behold, it worked out perfect. It's pretty much the same strategy. It's just a different entry point. So let me put the. I think I have the criteria on here. If not, I can just type it up. It's not very difficult. Let's see. It was. Let's see. Okay, I'll create a new and I'll go to an example over here. And I'll probably add one more criteria to it so that you can have
Hold on 30 seconds. I got to go let a dog in that's crying.
yeah, go ahead, no problem. Go ahead. You.
Sorry about that.
No worries. Okay, so this strategy is the momentum pullback scout V2 version 2. I'll start the criteria here. So first criteria is confirm direction trend using pivots and or trend meter. So this is going to be step one. The first step, and this isn't a criteria that we follow on the live sessions because I'm identifying like direction of price, but I think this will help you so that you trade in the direction of the trend. I typically try to trade in the direction of the trend, but it's not always necessary if I'm identifying that the sellers are in control at a certain point. But for you specifically, this will help because you'll have some sort of bias without having to identify, okay, are the sellers in control or are the buyers in control? So I'll keep it as simple as possible. Step one, you want to confirm the direction of the trend using the pivots and or the trend meter. Ideally, you want to use both because you'll have a better confluence. But if one's there and one isn't, then it's completely fine. Because sometimes the trend meter will be neutral and the pivots will be bullish. And the way to identify that is first, you just want to make sure price is above the pivots and the pivots are a little bit spread out. See how these are spread out right here where they're kind of fanned out and aiming to the upside? This will indicate that price is bullish. So when you have something
what if it's, let's say it's above 3 of the pivots and not the other 2, but it's still going upwards?
yeah, so if it's still going upwards, like you can see over here where price, it gets a little choppy and they're kind of, crossing over each other. This is perfectly fine. You just kind of want to look back. So you want to look back to see what was happening like, back here. So like, even though this here was like all choppy in this area, if you look back to here, you're like, okay, this was bullish. Price was just retracing down a little bit and swinging back up. So it doesn't have to be super clean, but I mean, the cleaner, the better, of course, because that'll give you a better confluence as to, the direction of the trend. So the first step is you just want to identify the direction of the trend using the pivots and or the trend meter. You can use other things if you want to do it by hand. I mean, you can do that as well. It's just really up to your preference. I think, using the tools here, that's the whole point of having the tools. It kind of shortcuts the way to identifying the trend. So first, you just want to identify the trend. And once you identify the trend, you want to focus on taking trades in that direction. So once we have this right here, the next step is you want to confirm a momentum signal. So step two, you want to confirm that there's a momentum signal there. Right here, we have a bullish trend. Price is trending to the upside. Step two, you have a momentum signal right here. Once you've confirmed those two, You want
All right, so
to,
help me out here. What was the actual momentum signal?
yeah, momentum signal is going to be this one right here. The momentum signals are going to be the vertical bars. So the green bar here will be the momentum signal to the upside. The red bar here will be a momentum signal to the downside, and then vice versa. And they flip. So
Oh,
like,
trend meter's the bottom one. Sorry, I'm getting
yeah,
the, okay, gotcha, gotcha. Okay,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
with you now.
Yeah, no worries. I know it's kind of confusing when there's so many colors on the screen, but for the most part, it's they'll flip over. So you'll have one momentum for a sell, and then momentum swings back up, and then vice versa, swings down, then swings back up. So step one, confirm the trend. Step two, confirm the momentum signal. You basically want to put two and two together. If price is trending up, you want to make sure that there is a bullish momentum. If
Okay.
price is trending down the opposite way, then you want to have bearish trend, right? So like first, like for example here, we have a bearish trend and we have a bearish momentum. So in a situation like this, you would only be looking for sells. So you'd only be looking for sells here, and then vice versa. Over here, you're only going to be looking for buys. So again, step one, confirm the trend meter or confirm the trend. Step two, confirm a momentum signal. Now moving on to step three, you want to confirm a retracement. And this is very simple. I know a lot of people like they try to overcomplicate it. A retracement is literally just an opposite candle. So you confirm the trend, you confirm momentum, and you can see price here has retraced on this red candle. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It doesn't have to be a big pullback or anything like that. You're just looking for an opposite candle.
Okay.
So yeah, keeping it very simple. Retracement means just opposite colored candle. So we have price pushing up right here. This red candle right here is a retracement. That's going to be step three. So again, going over the steps here. Step one, bullish trend. Step two, bullish momentum. Step three, retracement.
Okay.
Once you get to that step there, go to step four, and you want to confirm continuation above momentum signal. Okay, so for step four here, same thing, very simple, very similar and simple to retracement. You're just looking for a candle that's moving in the direction of momentum, and you want it to close above the momentum signal. So step one, bullish trend. Step two, bullish momentum. Step three, retracement, this red candle. Step four, confirm continuation. This green candle right here is the continuation, and you also confirm that it's above the momentum signal. Does that make sense?
I followed everything until you got to which is the exact momentum signal that I'm looking for.
Yeah, so the
Oh,
momentum.
oh, the momentum signal is the lines going up. It closed above the lines. Gotcha.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So you're basically just going to confirm step two. You want to make sure that, and this is why this trade this morning that I lost, this was actually not a good trade because I got into this position and the candle actually didn't close above it. So this was a bad entry. This was like my bad. I should have just pulled out when it was like slightly in profit, but I thought the candle was going to finally close above it and become an actual entry, but it just never closed above it. So I screwed up on that entry this morning. That was like my bad. So again, right here,
You
we'll
make
go.
seven figures a year trading. I think a bad every now and again is probably just fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just had to take that loss, take it to the chin and bounce back tomorrow, hopefully. Um, but yeah, again, so requirements here, we'll go over the steps again. I'm going to keep reiterating this so that it just makes more and more sense to you. Step one, confirm that we're in a bullish trend. Step two, confirm the momentum signal is in the direction of that trend, which is bullish. Step three, confirm a retracement, this red candle. Step four, confirm a continuation above the momentum signal, which is this green candle. So basically what you're looking for here is you're looking for this type of pattern. You're looking for something like this to happen, right?
All right.
So that's literally what you're looking for. So you got price pushing up right here, retraced right here, and it confirmed above right here. You just want to make sure that this green candle closes above this momentum. So once this candle closes, we're basically gonna watch for this candle to close. There's gonna be a countdown over here when the candle is closing. You'll see the countdown like from a minute down.
Mhm.
And as soon as that closes, you're gonna be ready to take your entry here for a buy. So when you take that buy there, I'm assuming you're gonna trade on TradingView, right?
Well, I don't. I would love to trade on TradingView, but I don't know how to make the damn trade copy or work on TradingView.
Oh yes, you can't do it to use a trade copier on TradingView. You have to use a TradeAvate. or you'd have to use NinjaTrader. NinjaTrader is your better option, but like you talked about earlier parallels. Like I don't blame you. I have trouble using parallels myself. I didn't like using it, so I just bought a Windows laptop to just enter my trades, which I mean sucks, but
But you trade from, I mean, so even when you went on your honeymoon, then you had both computers with you?
yeah, I had like three computers with me. Well, I had my MacBook to live stream the trading view analysis, and then I had my other laptop just to enter the trades for the hit buy or sell. Basically, that's all I was doing. And then I had my third screen basically for like the chat and stuff. So yeah, I pretty much just carry two laptops with me and then an extra screen.
Because see, and everybody has a different viewpoint, I guess, because like other people I've talked to, they like Tradovate way better than they like Trading View, or not whether than better than Ninja Trader, but you like Ninja better.
Yeah, so the difference with that too. So here's the downside with Trade of Eight, you can execute your trades and you can be on the Mac, but the problem with it is that you can't set an automatic TP stop loss. So you can't. Whenever I enter a trade, my TP stop loss is already set, so it's pretty much preset. As soon as I enter buy here, like for example, if I was to enter buy on this position here, my profit target and my stop loss is automatically set already. So I don't have to do anything. It's like automatic. When you do an entry on TradeOvate and you're copying using their copier, what happens is you enter a trade and you'll be in that position right there. Like we'll say this blue line here is your entry, but your profit target and your stop loss isn't set up yet. So you have to set it up yourself. You have to just drag it up. You'll drag the line and then you'll put your profit target somewhere up here. And then you'll drag the line down and then you'll set your stop loss down here. So I mean, it's not, I wouldn't say it's like impossible to do, but for me personally, I like to just have everything automatically set. So there's pros and cons to it. With NinjaTrader, you can set ATM orders. So like I said, whenever I enter the trade, it's already set up for me. Like I hit buy, and then my TP stop loss is set up there, and I just let the trade kind of do what it needs to do.
Now that box, the green box and the red box, what are those? How did those come up?
This is just a charting tool. So if you go over here to your forecasting and measurement tools, it's going to be the long position. So if you're taking a buy, you can set it up like that. It's just to mark up so you can understand where your positions is sitting and where it's active. So for me, I like to set it up. And then when I have my trade that's running live, I just make sure that's lined up with it. So I can just drag it over to line it up exactly to where it should be.
All right, I'll figure that. I gotta get some wins and get them funded first. I mean, I have a Windows laptop that I can use, and I like the idea of being it set up. Like you said. I mean, and for when I'm traveling, I mean, I can do that because quite frankly, I can chart it on my iPad on TradingView, and then enter the trades on my laptop.
Yeah, exactly. You can just do your analysis or just have your trading view on your iPad and then you'll just hit buy or sell on your Windows laptop. That's kind of what I do too. I just I'll set up my analysis here, I'll look at my charts. But I'm not really doing too much on this actual chart. I'm just kind of looking at it to see where my entries are and to identify things that I'm looking for.
I would imagine when you're not live streaming it, you aren't talking half as much, or obviously you're not talking because you'd be talking to yourself, but you're not doing as much drawing because you can just see it and you know what you're doing.
Exactly. Yeah. When I'm on the live session, I have to draw it because they can't see what I see. But for me, it's easy because I'm like, things just kind of line up. I'm like, okay, price is above the pivots, trend is green, kind of just match colors there. That kind of like knocks out steps 1 and 2 automatically. And then the retracement, I'm just looking for something opposite. So I like the colors just line up in my head so I can see everything fluid. So yeah, I don't
You
necessarily.
can't beat chart time. And I mean, I heard you say this morning you've been live streaming this for 8 years. I mean, that's a long time, obviously, and that's a lot of chart time. So again, I gotta be smart. For me, I've got to do it as far as, okay, get them funded, a couple $300 times 10 accounts is $3 grand a day. I mean, that's a damn good living, and it's a lot easier to learn when you've got that coming, right? So
Exactly, yeah. And then once you have it coming, it's like it becomes less stressful, right? Because I feel like when you're in the eval phase or you don't have a live account or you're trying to pass it, you kind of feel that pressure that okay, I need to pass this so I don't have to pay that monthly fee at the end of the month because it renews, of course. Um, And I think that that's kind of what gets a lot of people, right? Like people just aren't patient enough to, or the pressure just gets them where they want to take all these trades right away. But once you have that steady income coming from trading, you can just really focus on one trade. And that's kind of what I do on the live session. I usually take maybe one or two trades, and they usually do hit, because I look for the trades that are absolutely going to hit versus ones that are maybes.
All right, so let's go back to this because you're going to send me this recording. What's the entry though? I still don't know the entry.
Okay, yeah, so we have the requirements here. Once you have these requirements set up, these are pretty much all the requirements. Now you're going to enter on the close of the continuation candle. And then TP stop loss set to, and we've discussed this with Barack, who actually put the strategy together. He has it set to 2030. I told him he can probably knock it down at 2020, so it'll be a 1-to-1. But I'll just leave it to where he has it right now because I think that's, obviously it's his strategy. So I don't want
I was curious if it was him. He does quite a bit of talking in there, chatting on the thing. Is he a pretty good trader?
Yeah, he's actually been with me from almost the very start. So he's been trading with me live for, I would say, at least 6 years. So he's been watching my chart time, and he's been on the chart with me, and he understands like exactly what I'm saying. So like he was able to come up with strategy on his own and kind of just it's a little variation to what I created initially, and he kind of figured out something that works. So he's pretty good. Yeah, if he typically posts his profits in the chat as well. Sometimes he went off for a bit because so what happens a lot of times is when someone's good in the chat or in our group, people like to bug them, right? They like to ask them questions. So then they just end up like trading with us, but they don't post their profits anymore. They stay quiet in the background. So he's been around for a while, and he's pretty consistent. So these are the criteria that he puts.
Yeah, because like what was that? I'm just looking. What is today the 4th? Oh yeah, so he lost 1650 today, he said.
Yeah, he lost 1650 today on that one trade, and he said, "Yeah, Trap Tuesdays were loaded for real." Tuesday is typically the day where a lot of traps are like being set in the market. So you can see like my screenshot here. You can see how like a lot of people would get trapped in this market. Like when price pushed up right here, buyers would get trapped. When price came down here, sellers would get trapped. It's just a little thing that people have been calling Tuesdays for, I mean, ever since I started trading. Trap Tuesdays typically where these types of traps get set up, and today was just a classic day of Trap Tuesday. But yeah, he lost a little bit today. He lost 1600, and then the day before that, or last week, he made 3127. So he has his up days, and like for this day over here, he made 29 or 2981. So he has more green days than red, of course. Some days he'll lose, like this day he lost 2500, but he's more consistent on the green side than he is on the losing side. Yeah, like right here, he made 4500. So there's gonna be some days where he loses a little bit, lost 3000 there, made 4000 there. But he's
a full-time trader.
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. The day before that, he made 2,900. I don't even think he's from the US because he uses FTMO. I don't know if you were ever trading when FTMO was around. FTMO was like they were one of the first companies to really bring prop trading out, like to make it popular. We used to trade with them, but then last year the US, I mean, CFDs have always been banned here in the US, but they like officially started to crack down on it, so they weren't able to accept US clients. So he's still using FTMO, so I'm assuming he's not from the US. I think he's from Europe, somewhere around there.
So well, I'm not going to bug him or anybody else. I'm just going to try and learn from you. Okay, so you enter on the close of the next candle, or the close of the
continuation. Yeah.
Continuation candle.
Yeah, so let's go over the requirements again. Step 1, confirm the direction of the trend using the pivots and or the trend meter. Right here, it doesn't matter where you confirm it, but obviously you can see over here, price is trending bullish. Price is above the pivots, trend meter is green. You can already confirm step 1 and 2 before this even happens. So step 1 and 2, or step 1, confirm the trend is bullish. Step 2, confirm the momentum, which is right here. Step 3, confirm the retracement, which is this red candle. Step 4, confirm continuation above the momentum signal. So after this retracement, we just want to make sure that we have a green candle after that closes above this black line here, which is the momentum signal. Once you have that confirmed right there, as soon as this candle closes, you'll enter here for a buy. So if you're entering on TradingView, again, it just depends on like where you enter from. You can just set your market order to be automatically, or if you're trading on TradingView, it's probably easier because you can set an automatic TP stop loss. You just won't be able to copy the trade. So I think that's the downside. It's either you
Which is
copy,
funny because the trade copier that you sent over that you recommend,
yeah.
hold on, what's up?
My aunt said you do not get a hotel.
Well, your aunt doesn't control me, so, but that's fine. Okay, I'm in the middle of something. You can flip me off all you
It's
want.
being funny, but
Okay.
we're sitting there.
Okay.
Bitch.
My wife's a little fiery.
No, no worries. Mine's a little fire as well. Yeah, so looking at this here, your TP stop loss is going to be set. I'm just putting this chart here just to show you that like where your TP stop loss should be. But basically, depending on how you enter the order, you would enter a market order here for a buy, and then you'd at this point you would now be in the position. So your entry would happen right there. Your TP would be here at the 20, and then at this point you just wait for price to either hit your TP or your stop loss. And eventually you can see right there it does hit. So there goes an example of the momentum pullback scout V2. And this is pretty much what I've been applying on the live sessions. It's just I use different confluences. So I'm looking for like a double body rejection or something like that to identify that, the buyer is in control. But like I said, you don't have to look for stuff like that. That stuff is just extra.
So that one, I mean, that was probably before it hit the profit. That was 15-minute trade, yeah?
Yeah, this thing right here, let's see, it ran for about 8 minutes actually. So not too long.
Oh, did it hit the profit there? I thought it didn't hit till a couple over.
Oh, no, yeah, it hit right here on the screen panel.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so these trades typically last like 5 to 10 minutes max. Usually they hit right away. Sometimes it lasts longer than this. After 8 o'clock, the market tends to die down a little bit. So from my experience, the volatility is flat between 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock. So it might take a little longer for trades to hit around this time. But like we said, you really just need one of these entries. If you were to take this entry here, and again, I mean, depending on what your contract size is, if you're taking a 5 contract, 5 times 5 times 20, that's gonna be a $500 profit. So if you're taking a 5 contract, this trade here would have locked you in 500. And then, like you said, if you're taking this on like 10 accounts times 10, it's a $5,000 profit across all your accounts. So if you could just focus and find one of these entries, I mean, you just take your win and then be done with the day and then repeat the process the next day. Because the thing is, the more trades you take, you put yourself at a higher risk. So if you could just focus and take just one good trade every single day, or not even every single day, every other day, your profits will stack up day after day after day. And then at the end of the week, if you were to take just 2 trades for the week times 2, it's a $10,000 profit. So
A pretty damn good week. And again, I need to get to, give me a tenth of that in a week, and it's a good start, right? So,
yeah,
all right, let me do this, Sean, because I want to definitely be respectful of your time. Once this compresses or whatever it does, and you can send this to me, I'm gonna play around with this and watch this and just do this now that I've kind of got my chart set up.
Yeah. What I would recommend is, just keep running through it, and then like, okay, let's see if there's another one here that comes up at some point. So like I said before, you don't have to trade in the direction of the trend, but I'll show you another example here. So this is an example for a side. I think this is gonna be good so that you can see both directions.
I was gonna say, just the little bit I know, I could see that one hit. I mean, you could see it's below the pivots. You've got a red arrow, you get a change of direction. Whatever I can't see what the close is on that red candle, but if you enter after that, I saw what it forwarded to. You hit that in 2 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. So the volatility here started to pick back up. There was no entries here, as you can see. There's a sell signal, but it was against the trend. But even if you weren't following the trend, price never actually closed back below the momentum signal, right? So this here, there would be no sell entry there. And then again, over here for this buy, same thing. Price came above, came below, never closed back above it. So there's no entries for these 2 momentum. And this one over here, there was an entry because we had a sell momentum. Price came down, retracement on this green candle. This one confirmed it. Once it confirmed right there, you enter a sell entry. Same thing again, 20, 30. Let the trade run. And this thing, yeah, hits in 2 minutes right there. So like I said, you know, you don't have to take every single entry, but if you hung out for a little bit and you're like, okay, I want to take one more, you know, that'd have been your 2 entries for the day. And then you lock in your 10,000. And then you could have just called it a week, basically.
Now you have to trade a certain amount of days before you can do withdrawals though, right?
I believe so. I think you need to take 8 trades. Or I don't know if they changed the rules, but I believe it's 8 trading days.
You clearly don't worry about it and just withdraw whenever, then that must be a nice place to be in.
Yeah, exactly. So like I said, like for me, I just, you know, I take the quality entries. So I don't necessarily, I'm not like, oh, I have to trade every single day. Because I feel like that's a thing too with a lot of people. They feel the pressure to trade every single day because they're like, oh, if I don't take this many trades, then I'm gonna have to, you know, I'm not gonna get a payout. The thing with Apex is that before they used to have only 2 payouts per month.
First
But
and 15th, yeah.
exactly. So now they changed it. So it's just every 8 trading days. So you can just take your time with it. You don't have to force anything. And if you look here, I think there's probably more entries that probably came up. So again, another one right here. Let me just
There's another one.
Yeah, it broke the focus on this one right
above
here.
it, and then you get the retracement.
Exactly. Buy signal, retracement. This one right here, this green candle closed above it. So that would be another buy right there. And this is just regarding the trend. Like I said before, I don't use the trend, but I just gave you the trend requirement. I added that there for you specifically. For me, if you're able to identify, you know, prices shifting back to the upside, then you don't really need the trend. So again, right here, same thing. Price pushes up, and again, in 2 minutes, it's right there. So you can see how lucrative this strategy.
Wait, go back to that one because I'm trying to follow on that one. So I see you're going up, but where's the retracement?
Retracement is right here. These 2 red candles. So we'll skip step 1 because I don't typically use the trend. I was just using that as a requirement for you to have quality entries. But skipping step 1 here, we have a bullish momentum, right? So step 2, bullish momentum. Step 3, retracements right here. So we had a buy signal that came up. Price retraced on this first one here. So this is the first retracement, this red candle. And then it kept retracing further right there. So see how price pushes up, then it retraces down further. This right here is a continuation, but it hasn't closed above the momentum yet. So you need it to continue, but you need it to also close above momentum. So the retracement happened here. This started to push up a little bit, but these weren't going to be your entry candles yet because they didn't close above this black line. So as soon as this candle right here closed above the black line, that's when all the criteria was met. So we had momentum signal, retracement, continuation that closes above momentum. And then you enter your position right here. As soon as this candle closed, you hit that buy market order, you have your TP stop loss set up, and then you just let the trade kind of breathe and do what it needs to do. With like basically no drawdown. Like you see how these entries have no drawdown. This is why I was telling Barack, like you can really tighten your stop loss to 20, but I'm gonna leave it as is for now, you know, as we continue to trade it. Just to be on the safer side, you know, for whatever reason, if we have spikes or anything like that. But you can really tighten it if you really wanted to. You know, some people they're real stiflers about the risk to reward, but if you're not losing the trade, the risk reward doesn't really matter, right? Because you're not planning on losing the trade.
No, but I think this is a good starting point because I mean I should be able to identify that. It's on the 1 minute chart. I should be able to identify it fairly easily. It looks like it's working. I mean, and you've obviously back tested it with him or you wouldn't have showed it. So
Yeah, exactly. And then there's a lot. So you can literally just go on replay mode and you can go back as far as you want. And you can just, and there's another one right there. See that? So if you look at this here, there was 4 back-to-back wins here. You know, if you could have just focused for one of these entries, you'd lock in your $500 there, times 10, 5,000.
because there's another one right
Yeah. Right over here.
Yeah, but there's another one right. You're right there, right by the white, the second one. There, that green, it's going no the other way. Keep going. No, you're going the wrong way. Go to the right.
Yeah, which one are you looking at?
Right. Keep that red candle right in the middle on the left. Keep over in between the 2 greens. Isn't that the same thing? What time is that? Hold on, I gotta put my glasses on.
Yeah. So there's only a sell here. I'm not sure. You're looking for a buy, right?
I was looking at a buy at like 9 o'clock. If you're at 9 o'clock, you're up above right there.
Oh yeah, the one that we looked at, right? The same one.
Oh, is that the one we did look at? Okay, then
Yeah.
that was the win. Gotcha.
Yeah, that
And
was
then
the
it goes up.
Yeah, it goes up, and then we have a sell signal right here. And same thing. So sell signal, retracement, the continuation happened right here, where it broke below the this momentum signal.
Now, if you'd oh, it didn't close above. It didn't hit all the criterion on the one just before that. Okay.
Yeah. So it didn't hit the criteria here because the red candle would have to close below this black line. But as soon as it does close, like it did right here, this is where the entry would have happened. For me personally, I would have skipped this trade mainly because this candle here is a huge candle. Whenever you have something big like this is like a manipulated candle. Like typically what happens a lot of times is price will trace up and then it'll come back down. But sometimes it just goes straight through. Like for example, here for this one actually goes straight through and it hits profit target within like, within that following candle.
Those big ones probably I'd probably stay away from those in the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. You want something where the market's moving smoothly, and it's moving it's moving efficiently versus having, entering, and there's another one right here again, same thing. So same thing here, this buy signal, there's no entry because price doesn't, it retraces, but it doesn't confirm back up. For this one right here, we have a sell signal, retraces, comes back down right here, and then your entry would happen right here. And again, right there, it hits within the first candle, actually.
Okay, that's a good place for me to start. Let me get focused on that and make that work. And then I'll just, again, I won't be a nuisance, but hopefully I can get that figured out. And then it gives me a start and I can just, hell, I've got 2 accounts right now. I haven't bought the other ones. So I'm just going to play with those 2 accounts and I can do that right in TradingView initially. And then I can worry about my copier stuff once I get one funded.
Exactly, yeah. I would just focus on one account at the moment. Take as much risk as you need on those. Since you have 2, you have a backup. So yeah, I would just focus, just go back and retest this, whenever you have like free time, just go and back test it. You can pull up any random day. Like if you have you used the replay function before?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so if you click replay up here, you can click on this and then you can, and let me just copy this. I want to make sure that I actually want to save this so I don't have to type it up again. Okay, so if you want to use the replay function, you'll just click on this button right here. And then you can just click on anywhere and it'll replay the market. So like, for example, if you want to go back to, like we'll say, if you want to go back to yesterday's live session or you want to go back to Fridays or anything like that, you can go back here and you can just replay it. You can click on anywhere and then you can start just practicing looking for those setups. And you can just click this replay or this forward button. And then you can just look for setups there as price, moves along. You're like, okay, there's a sell entry here, retracement. Entry happens right here. And then you can set that up. And then you just keep replaying it and look for as many entries as you see show up here. And that's probably going to help you the most because there's so much data here where you can go back, days, if not months, if not years, to just test everything out. And then
It even hits over here. You can see it comes down, you get a retracement at about 153. It's coming down, it's below.
Yeah. So the entry already happened over here. I typically only do take one per momentum. So like one momentum signal, once that entry is hit right here, I'm pretty much done with this move here. But if you want to keep taking them, some people do keep taking them.
Oh, I was just looking at one that popped out to me in my when you should. Now, if you go over a little bit though, it looks like it would have failed at because it's up and then nope, go over. So you're green all the way above. No, you're going the wrong. I'm sorry, I'm not helping you. About 135.
135.
So over 2 more candles. Other way, left, my left. So it was up and then you got a direction change. Then it closed above, but then it retraced back down. You would have gotten taken out on that one.
So this one right here, your entry would have happened on this candle right here. So there's a buy signal, retraced right here. And then
So that would have been a late entry. Okay, I see what you're saying.
it
Okay.
actually would have happened right here. So the buy signal came up, retraced right here. This green candle closed above it. And your entry would have happened on the close of this candle. And it
You
would
would have been taken out in 3 minutes.
yeah, so this would have hit your TP right there. Or actually it took a little longer. Let's see how long it took. It took about 6 minutes. So close enough. But yeah, 6 minutes or so. This happened at 1 a.m. though. So I don't typically think you'd be trading at this time. This
Yeah,
is
no, I'm not going to be trading at 1 a.m.
yeah, yeah, but it's still good to test it out, or if you are awake at 1 a.m. at some point, you can trade London session. I probably wouldn't trade YM at this time. I'd probably trade a different asset, but I mean, it just goes to show that it still works, depending on like when you plan on trading it.
All right, good deal. Well, shit, man, I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm gonna be cognizant of your time. However long this takes to whatever it's called, compress itself and send it to me. I'm gonna utilize this, and I'll probably be sitting on the airplane flying tomorrow, playing around with this.
Nice, yeah, no, this will be pretty instant. So as soon as we get off, I'll let it compress like you said, and then I'll send it over to you. It compresses pretty quickly, so I'll send you a YouTube link so you can watch it on the cloud instead of having to download it.
Perfect. I appreciate it. You're still posting stuff on social media. How much bigger are you trying to grow the trading stuff?
I'm kind of like I'm not like purposely, well, I mean, I guess I am kind of purposely because I'm still posting on it. So I don't mind growing it. It's I guess as big as it gets really, but I'm not really like, I don't have any goals. So like whatever happens, happens, but I'm not here to I don't have a goal in mind really. So
Well, once I get some proof of this, and again, feel free if you're like, fuck Mike, you're bugging the shit out of me, and I will try my best not to. Go ahead
no,
and
no,
tell
you're
me
right.
that. But I got two more guys that I know are going to come right behind me, and one of them actually lives down by you. I told him about it. He's the only one I told about this.
Nice, nice. Yeah, no, it's open to the public. Like I don't mind helping people. I actually prefer to help people like that are mutual friends like you. Typically I try to keep it away from like the general public, but for the most part, if you have friends, family, anybody that wants to learn, I'm always up to teach. It's just I like teaching people who actually want to learn, right? I feel like over my years, I've been teaching for I guess 6 years now. There's going to be a handful of people who just want to get into it for the money. They don't really care about learning, and those are the people I don't really want to teach because they'll try to learn it, not really put in the effort, and then complain about it later. Versus someone who
No,
wants to learn it.
dude, I'm 53 years old. Personally, I told you that, and I've got depending on the month, I sometimes run a damn deficit. So I've got some shit I've got to figure out. That's personal stuff. But the reality of it is, it's 6:30 to 8 o'clock in the morning, and you really learn this. I mean, it's game changing.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can run this through an LLC business too. I'm not sure if you register your Apex accounts through an LLC.
Oh, that's my plan. I knew you were doing that. I saw that on there. You're one of the only people that talks about that, and you run it through a business, and you can run your expenses about it. Yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah, exactly. That'll help with your tax liability too, with like if you're getting paid W-2 through your normal job and stuff like that, that'll kind of offset things and you can get your deductions and it'll probably help offset a lot of your expenses and stuff like that in general.
Well, plus if you have an LLC, you can do that. You can still have expenses through that LLC, which will decrease the profitability on said LLC. And yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's tax loophole. It's a nice little big tax loophole to
I
help
mean,
you
because
save.
I'm guessing if you have a financed vehicle, it's through your LLC and not through personal, and you let your trading pay for that.
Exactly. Yeah, no, definitely. Got my nice car, my little Porsche through that, so it helps. It's my business vehicle.
Well, and that's the good thing. Once I get a little confidence, that's what I'll probably do is just I need to I can have a few accounts that'll give me that cushion that I need to have on a monthly basis, and then I can do the other whatever 15 call it accounts through the LLC, and then eventually because you can only have 20 Apex ones, right? So
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You do 20 Apex and then you can open I trade Tradeify as well. Perdia. There's a couple other ones that I'm looking to maybe add on. This is other one called Take Profit Trader. I'm just looking for prop firms that use NinjaTrader so I can just add them to my copier. That's kind of like because I'm already trading the account, so I might as well get some free money from these other prop firms while I can.
now are your Apex accounts yours are the static ones, then not or whatever it's called, not you don't do the Trade Evade ones because you don't use it. So you just do Ninja Trader.
Yeah, so they are under Trade of Eight. So Ninja Trader owns Trade of Eight.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
so
I'm gonna follow your proven process. And like I said, right now I have 2 Trade of Eight accounts. I mean, I love the idea of being able to do it all through TradingView, but it doesn't let me do that, so that's not gonna happen. So
yeah, ideally, I'm expecting them to have some sort of solution at some point, or at least have some sort of native Ninja Trader for Mac. I'm surprised they don't have one by now, but
I am too. And I mean, I swore I'd never go to Mac, but then once I made the switch, I'm like, God damn, it runs so much. I mean, you don't even have to restart the damn thing. You don't have issues.
yeah, I haven't turned off my Mac in like months, and it's still running perfectly fine. And the cross capability with your phone and all that, it makes things so much easier.
I agree. So, all right, man. Hey, it was a pleasure to meet you on this, and I'm gonna work on this, and I'll look for this to come over, and I'm pretty excited. So, thank you.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited for you. I'll send you over the link pretty shortly.
All right, sounds good, man.
All right, Mike. I'll talk to you later.
All right, see you.
All right, see you.